Chris. So let's get started with frequency capping in general. What is frequency capping?
Yeah. So it's as with metrics in Google Ads, there's always fancy terms, things like search impression share and click through rate and average position. And it all is just a fancy term for something very simple. It is the measure of how often a user sees an ad. And for this discussion, to be clear, right off the top, we're not talking about search. Frequency capping does not happen on search. It's only for display campaigns and video campaigns. So frequency capping is a way to limit the number of times ads appear, and this is official Google language, limit the number of times ads appear to the same person, that's quite a statement. Google's a big place. The internet's a big place, and they're saying you can control how often a single individual sees your ad.
Now, in terms of the level of detail to that, on the settings page for a video campaign or display campaign, one of the settings options you'll see is frequency management, and it says set a preference for how often your ads show to the same user. And so again, they're using that person user language as opposed to device or anything like that. Frequency capping helps you control the maximum number of times an individual user sees your ad on the display network, and then we can roll this over into YouTube as well. And the default there, Chris, and it also says is recommended, let Google Ads optimize how often your ads show. That's the default. And then the other option is set a preference, and then you can manage impressions for each ad group, or the whole campaign to X per day, week, or month. And you could put a number in there like each ad 5 times per day, or 10 times per week, or 50 times per month, or whatever number you want to use. But that is how you put frequency capping in place, and the options you have to put it in place if you were wanting to do that.
Yeah. So right off the top, Jason, this entire topic may not be something that a lot of people have to concern themselves with, right? Because there's an automatic setting that you can just leave it, and Google determines all of that themselves. They determine that annoyance level whenever the ad's just showing too much, you're seeing the ad too often.
I may have said that word early on. I heard that from 1 or 2 clients, but I think more so I like the word effectiveness, because if someone's on your Chris, for your own health, here. Unroll those eyes. They went so far back into your brain. I want you to roll back those eyes.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you're just it's just a paint of a different color is all it is. But go ahead.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because you can run a remarketing campaign, and if someone sees your ad 100 times that week and they don't even click, or they scroll down the screen very quickly, and the time they see your ad is not that long, Google can figure out if that's not a good one person on your very large remarketing list to be showing your ads to. And they can themselves, through the automated frequency capping, cap how often they show to that one person or that segment of your remarketing list that is just not going to perform well. So then you can show more often to the people you can actually get clicks and conversions from. And so it's not just an annoyance thing. It's also an effective performance thing. You don't want to be showing your ads to people who just are not going to perform, or who are going to hurt your click-through rate, which then hurts your quality score. And so there's a lot of things to factor in.
That's a great point, and that's a reason for you guys to stick around, because at the end of the show, we're going to discuss a little bit about, when and where is this appropriate, and I don't know, we might disagree. It's always fun to disagree, so we'll see.
I'll never disagree for the rest of my life. I don't like disagreeable situations. I'm like melted cheese, Chris. I'll just mold to whatever
mold
your tortilla chip is shaped like. Yeah, I don't like disagreeable situations.
Okay,
so
you say so.
However you want to do it, we can do it. Chris, let's talk about. So I mean, that's what it is. Now it sounds it's a very niche area of Google Ads, as we talked about at the beginning of the show. But if it's sounding pretty simple to people and like not too many options, is that how it should be sounding to them, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it either you decide to do this yourself and make the decision of frequency capping, or you just leave it at default. And Jason, from my many years in Google Ads, I mean, I've learned a lot of people just like whatever the default is set. You know, they don't really like to tinker. But the value of this is that at least you know, at least there might be a time.
If you're if you're thinking about frequency capping and you're wondering if you even have that option, you have a specific situation going on.
That's true.
Like it doesn't come up 90% of the time, 95, 99% of the time, but when it does, usually there's an issue. And this is a good tool to have in your toolbox to kind of solve that issue.